Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Redflex. This is the Manchester United versus Manchester City Carabao Cup semi-final preview. I'm going to try my very best to try and keep this on topic because events which have unfolded yesterday have made me a little bit giddy and a little bit excited. I'm going to try my very best to not talk about yesterday's result, what it means for the league, and what it means for the T word, but we'll try our very best. I don't think I'll make it through the show, but I'm going to try my very best. Man United versus Man City, Harris Carabao Cup semi-final. We've been here. Ole seems to be a specialist. I mean, to be fair, I don't even remember how we've even got here. I don't even remember playing any games to get us here, but we're here. Semi-final, one win away from the final, the showpiece. Can we do it? Do we do it? And if we do, how?
Yeah, I mean, interesting. We've been here before. I think Ole in his press conference, it's the first time in a long time I've heard him sound very confident. He actually said, "We're confident." Now, I can't remember him saying that in a previous pre-match. I don't know whether that's just generally how they're feeling, or is it just some sort of little bit of mind games? I don't know. But, it's fully fit squad, obviously, minus Cavani. Everyone else is available. We've had 4 days off. City have had 2. He alluded to the point that City, obviously, because they had their game postponed, they were fresh for Chelsea. They look really good. They look sharp. If obviously City hadn't had played the way they did against Chelsea, I would have been very confident on a win. But having seen City against Chelsea in the first half, I think it's going to be a very difficult game. I'm not sure how they're going to set up, to be honest. I'm not sure if they're going to play the way they did 3 weeks ago, or whether they're going to kind of like revert to type. So a very difficult one to call, but we've got a full team, we've got a full squad, and we have to be confident. We're playing well, we're in form.
Soom's trying to bait me out here. I know that I've said that I'm going to try not to mention yesterday, but he's doing his level best. What yesterday result? Was there a game that benefited United? Hopefully a game will be played tomorrow that benefits United. Like I said, we seem to have snuck in to the semi-final. And one thing, I know that we're on a high, we're jubilant, we're confident, but let's not forget, Manchester City are the serial winners of this competition. When it comes to this competition, how many years in a row have they won it? I think they're undefeated in God knows how many years.
3.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years in a row they've won this competition. City not being talked up in the title race, which I think they should be, because I think they're 1 or 2 games behind, and if they win that game, they're in the mix. They are in the mix. So form-wise, we shouldn't underestimate them. And it's one of those, isn't it? I don't know what City are going to turn up, because City had a little bit of a dodgy patch, but like you said, a comfortable victory against City. Against Chelsea, sorry, they blew them away. How do we approach this tactically? What do you think we can do? Like I said, you watched the game. I only caught bits of the 0-0 because I was abroad, but you watched the 0-0. What was the tactics going into that one, and what do you think will differ this time?
Same, I think we kind of set up the same we normally do against them, but obviously City didn't come out to play in that game. They were kind of set up similar. They didn't want to get hit on the counter punch, so they kind of sat back. They were very, they didn't commit a lot of people, a lot of men forward. They kind of kept their shape, kept it solid, and that's why the game ended up, just kind of petering out to a 0-0. I think we will set up in the same way. I can't see us changing our game. I think it's all down to City, isn't it? Whether they, come out to play, whether they, kind of commit people forward, kind of against Chelsea. Saw them, they were pretty good, to be honest. Or will they kind of just realise, it's United away from home. We need to sit back, and are we going to end up having to face the dreaded penalty shootout?
I think the difference last time was, I think our form wasn't that great going into the City game. I think,
we just lost against Leipzig.
Yeah, we just lost. So our form wasn't great going into the City game. So it was sort of like, damage limitation. This is a one-off game. I think, dare I say, the position that Ole has got himself in, do you think the fans would not really be that bothered if we lost this game?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, they've had enough rest. It's not as if the games have come back to back. You could have excused him for like playing some fringe plays, but he's had 4 days off. He'll probably pick his full squad against Watford. He can make as many changes as he wants. So, there's no real reason for him to kind of mix it up. He can play his favourite team. He can play his strongest 11. The only issue is, I mean, with stuff going on in the league, are the players, I don't know, are they going to be 100% focused? Have they got one eye on that game against Liverpool? I don't know, but surely they will be focused. And obviously, Ollie's mentioned it in his press conference. It's really important they win a cup of some sort, because hopefully that'll lead them on to, bigger and better things.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that point, because obviously, like I said, we're 2 wins away from a trophy, whereas the league, there's a long way to go. So there's nothing guaranteed in the league. We could win it, we could not win it, we could not even make top 4. There's a long way to go. Whereas this one, there's 2 games away from a physical trophy. No matter where you finish in the league, the trophy's a trophy. It's never going away. So we can see it from that point. So, but my point was in the sense that because we're riding high at the moment, do you think that if Ole went for it and we didn't get through, do you think that he would be kind of like, yeah, okay, we tried, sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, if they play well, and they end up being unlucky, or it ends up going to penalty shootouts and we're losing, then fair enough. You just take it on the chin and you move on. Because he's got that bit of credit in the bank, because we're riding high in the league. It's not going to be.
I think it might give him a little bit of leeway to like, look, I'm going to go for it this time rather than just kind of sit back. I'm going to go for it, and then if he doesn't get through, obviously, like you said, he's got that credit in the bank for being, top of the league.
Yeah, I mean, but I just think in the way we're playing, this is a perfect time to kind of make that statement now. We're on a good and beaten run. We've been playing well. City, I know they played against Chelsea well, but before that they weren't great. So, yeah, hopefully
Zoom's back again to try and bait me. I said, no, maybe not bait me. Let me see what it says first. I'd say rest the players, don't care about this cup, rather perform in the FA Cup. Rest as much as possible for the league. I mean, we do have a good squad, Zoom. So we have a really good squad. Like I said, Cavani can't play because of suspension. So whenever he comes back, he's going to be fresh. Yeah. So we've got Donny van de Beek just sitting, twiddling his thumbs. He's going to be super fit, raring to go. He's going to want to make a statement as well whenever he does get a chance. So we've got options. We've got a few players, potentially coming in the summer as well. So I wouldn't say, like I said before, we're 2 games away from a physical trophy in hand. That's never going away. I understand about resting players for the league. I'm with you on that one, because where we are now, we have to do everything we can, but we can't throw away things that we're very far along. We're in a semi-final. If it was like, the first round of the FA Cup, like it's going to be later on this year, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. Because the FA Cup's much more difficult to win than the Carabao Cup. So I'd probably rest the players there. I probably wouldn't even care about the Europa at this point, depending on how we're doing in the league. If the Europa restarts and we're still in the mix, then I'd definitely rest. If we're out of the title race, then I'd go for the Europa hard. But yeah, it's difficult, but it's a good place to be. You mentioned about the team news, about only, I think we've got Cavani is unavailable, and I think Phil Jones he's always injured. So yeah, that's not a big deal.
Lindelof is back.
Lindelof is back. So that brings me on to my next question. The team, I mean, I enjoyed the performance, especially of Paul Pogba, even though, like I said, I've mentioned many times, I'm not his biggest fan. I enjoyed the performance. Do you think we can do that against City, though? Can we play, with Pogba out of position, let's say, against Man City? Or do we revert back to type?
Yeah, I don't think we can. Unless he goes for the similar formation where he plays Pogba from the left. I think that's the only way I can see Pogba fitting in. I'd 100% play Matic. But it was outstanding in the little cameo he had, and the full game he played before that. I'd probably rest or drop Scott McTominay or Fred. Back 4. But he's played a lot of games, hasn't he? I mean,
so you're going with the back 4? I mean, I know previously when we've won against City, we've gone for the 5.
I think it'll be a 4. I don't think it'll be a 5. I think it'll be a 4. I think City might even play that false 9 like they did against Chelsea again. Kevin De Bruyne possibly, or maybe someone else. So to be honest, I'm not really bothered who plays in the back four. I think they're all kind of up for it, whether it's Tellez, Shaw, Lindelof, Maguire. I think it's all good. It's just a formation, isn't it? That he goes with. If he goes with similar against what he did against Aston Villa, I'm fine with that as well. I think it could work, because in that way you get Pogba in the team. If not, I think it's going to be the standard, isn't it? Probably Matic and somebody else, and then obviously just the usual Fernandes, and probably you'll see Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood up top.
For me, because of the way City played last game with a false nine, so in essence they were playing with like 6 midfielders. I think that the midfield is going to be key. So we need to play a formation in which we sort of pack out the midfield. That depends which way Oli wants to go, because like I said, City are a possession-based team, will be chasing shadows for a long time. So we need as many quality midfielders who are good on the ball. So when we do get that bit of possession, which may come rarely to us, that we do something with it. So I can see where Donny may fit into this. Obviously, Pogba, the way he held up the ball last game, even under pressure, I thought he did really well. Matic, I agree with as well. So if there's a way of getting those 3, plus obviously Fernandes, I think he's going to go with 2 up front. He mentioned about the loss of Edison Cavani. I think he mentioned that in the press conference. He made a specific point of he would love to have had Edison Cavani here. If it was Edison Cavani, I think it'd be a front 3. I think because of what he said there specifically, he feels as though he's lacking up front. So he's probably going to go with 2, maybe Martial, Rashford, maybe whoever. But I think it's going to be a 2. So either it's going to be the diamond in the midfield, or we may revert back to the 5. We'll see. And just get through some of the chats that I hear. Soon again, we shouldn't throw it away. I agree. But our biggest risk is injuries. Try and avoid that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. We don't need to make wholesale changes, because we've got certain players who are more injury prone than others. So I think if we rest them, again, a lot of our players are young, should be able to go through 2 games a week. I'll give game time to those who haven't been playing, maybe try out some new tactics against a big team. It's an opportunity to try new ideas, give those who haven't been playing a chance. If you're talking about the City game, no. Going forward, FA Cup, etc. Yes, Watford, yeah. City, like I said, because you're so close to the final, you have to go for it. Like, even if you hadn't been taking it seriously up until this point, now is the time to take it seriously. Like I said, I think Oli, even though he's been getting a little bit of credit recently, until he gets that trophy in the bank, I think there's always going to be that, the question mark hanging over his head. What did he do for United? He may take us. Yeah, what did he win? Like, let's be honest. I mean, we'd like to say it. We're talking about the title. See that? I knew I was going to end up talking about it, but it's not guaranteed yet. It's not as if we're 3 games to go and we're potentially 3 points ahead. There's a half a season to go. So this is the time where we need to just go for it. Let's try our best. Let's get in the final. Again, it's still not guaranteed. We may not win that trophy, but I think for Solskjaer, for this team, I think once you win a trophy, it makes a big difference. You've got that in the bank, then it gives you that platform to go forward. We've talked about teams. We've talked about everything. We get to the most difficult part. What do you think the score is going to be tomorrow?
Cannot predict this one. Honestly, it is just so difficult. Because I just don't know what City are going to do. That's the problem I've got with this. If they come out and play, I think we'll probably win 2-1. If they sit back, penalties, and then I don't know, anyone's game for me.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it's gonna be a draw in normal time, and I think it's gonna go all the way. So yeah, maybe even an odd goal in it. So I don't know. Soon, is the Carabao Cup worth having on the CV? I mean, a lot of people have been talking about, when they were talking about replacement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they were talking about Mauricio Pochettino, who has 0 on his CV. So if you get someone who comes in and who's got the Carabao Cup, that instantly makes him more qualified. So I'd say yes, for the confidence of the team. I think the team is good to have a cup under your belt. It shows that you won. I mean, City have been winning the Carabao Cup year in, year out, and it's that mentality that it brings. Like, once you've got that trophy, you're hungry for it. A lot of our players, the young players, they need that feeling to know what it's like to win a cup, and then maybe it will push them a little bit further. But yeah, no, great point. But I think if, especially as a manager, if it's your first one, I think you'll take whatever it is. I don't think you're bothered whether it's the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, whatever. As long as you've got something on your CV, that's nice. And for a player, I think it just brings that hunger. But anyway, yeah, I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think it may even be a goal in it. I think if we can get control of the midfield and the midfield can create chances for the forwards, I think we can outscore them. I really do believe we can outscore Man City because, number one, I don't think they've got majority of their forwards in form or available. So it's going to be the midfield battle, really. They're either going to grind us out with possession breakers like that, or if they do come to play and we, even if we go direct and try and get the ball forward to our strikers, I think we'll outscore them. But anyway, we'll be back straight after the game tomorrow. I think I may do another show later talking about Liverpool's game yesterday, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Big game, huge game for Man United. Join us at the aftermath and we'll be here hopefully celebrating. Thanks for watching the Redflex, guys. We'll be with you again very, very soon. Take care and goodbye.